trying to figure out the ship name for Barry and Caitlin. Maybe Baitlin or Kayri. Maybe Snowspeeder. No, that's Star Wars. Hey guys, this is Matt. So I just finished watching this week's episode of The Flash. It was episode 19, titled Who is Harrison Wells? I wasn't able to record an episode for last week's episode of The Flash, so sorry about that. I did get one out for last week's Arrow, but I'm back now and worked through some technical difficulties, and I want to talk a little bit about this episode. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of the way the villain of the week, which I'm getting a little bit tired of. Some of them have had some purpose, but lately it seems like they've just been there just as filler story while we sort of wait for subplots to come out and twists to be revealed and that kind of stuff. So this week's villain was named Hannibal Bates, otherwise known as Everyman. This is a character from the comics. I actually don't know a lot about him, but in the show, he was able to just simply touch somebody and basically shapeshift into that person, Mystique style, if you will. He was all right. We actually didn't see his true form until the very end. He spent the entire episode shapeshifting into other people, and that was great, I guess. He didn't really have a lot of motivation. He was a bank robber. He was a jewel thief. That was pretty much it. His motivation for doing stuff was just to steal stuff. I know that sounds lame, but that's kind of how lame it was. I mean, it was he was a one-note villain, at least for now. I think he does come back during the big team episode later in the season. I believe I saw him in one of the trailers, so that'll be interesting to see how he sort of figures in everything else. But basically, Eddie and Barry spend the episode running around chasing him. Caitlin and Harrison Wells jump in to help out a little bit, but that's about it. I mean, they and let me stop here and say, careful for spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode yet, go watch it, come back, and then watch this. But they chase him, they stop him, and that's great. I don't know, it was kind of a throwaway story for me. What I did like about it, though, was that it sort of gave Eddie a little bit of time to shine without Joe. So Joe and Cisco took a visit to Starling City. I'll talk about that in just a minute. But getting back to Eddie, so Hannibal Bates, he actually at one point shapeshifted into Eddie, and he shot two cops. And that's what we saw in the Paley Fest trailer from a few weeks back. You know, we did see a clip of Eddie shooting a couple cops. We saw a clip of the Flash fighting himself. We didn't really know what was going on with that. We thought maybe Eddie had gone bad. I thought he was being mind controlled by Gorilla Grodd. Apparently that wasn't the case. In regards to the Flash fighting himself, we all thought maybe it was Reverse Flash in the red suit, or maybe it was Future Flash or something like that. None of that. We got none of that. So it was basically just a shapeshifter, which is cool in its own right, I guess. But when I found out that that's how that happens, I was a little disappointed that it's just simply a shapeshifter and not something more devious. But that's okay, because the other subplots of this episode and what they set up for future episodes was really intriguing. So the first of the subplots that I'll mention is Joe and Cisco's visit to Starling City. So they're investigating Harrison Wells, and they decide that they need to go visit the scene of his car accident where his wife died 15 years ago. They need to go there and try to get some more insight as to what happened, because Tina McGee a few episodes ago mentioned that when his wife died, Harrison Wells became a completely different person, like a completely different person. They thought that was a little bit suspicious, so they figured let's go see the scene of the crime. I don't know why they would think they need to go to the exact scene of the crime in order to get clues. I mean, it was pretty lucky that they found what they did, but I can forgive that. It seemed a little strange. Seems like they might go to Starling City and talk more to people that knew him while he lived there, but instead they go to the exact spot where the car crashed. It was a little strange that they would do that, but whatever. It's okay. again, it's going to set up some great episodes coming forward, so I'm okay with it. So while they were there, they teamed up a little with Captain Lance, and Laurel actually showed up, which was pretty cool. She pulled Cisco aside and mentioned that she knew that Barry was the Flash, and basically she sort of revealed that she knows everything about Team Arrow and Team Flash. Cisco kind of played coy for a minute, which was pretty funny, but then she just basically outright said, "I'm the Black Canary." I thought that was a little strange at first. I was like, why is she telling him this? But luckily, Cisco asked the same thing, and she revealed to him that she's actually been using Sarah's canary cry, the little devices that Sarah had, and she was wondering if Cisco could construct something new for her, which was awesome. I'll skip to the end of the episode since we're talking about that. And at the end of the episode, Cisco actually pulls out sort of like a choker with the canary cry on it, which was pretty cool, and he actually suggested the name Canary Cry. So I know there's been a lot of speculation. I've been listening to the latest episode of the Arrow Squad podcast. They were talking about last week's episode of Arrow and how Ray and Cisco were talking about the possibility of there being metahumans that didn't exist or that didn't come about from the explosion of the particle accelerator. They speculated that maybe Laurel would develop the Canary Cry powers naturally, and I kind of thought that was a good theory, but now we see how it's really going to go down. So I don't think she's going to get powers at all. She's just going to use this new device that Cisco created, and I'm fine with that. Arrow is supposed to be a little bit more grounded in reality, although it's taken some pretty comic booky turns lately, but I'm okay with this version with her wearing a device around her neck. I can't wait to see how that's going to shake out. That should bring an interesting new twist to Laurel's place in Team Arrow. So another couple things about Joe and Cisco's visit to Starling City is Joe and Captain Lance sort of hanging out, bonding a little bit, and Joe telling Captain Lance that family is important and you would do anything you could to protect your family, to protect them from sadness and sorrow, from danger, from harm, anything like that. And it gave Captain Lance, or at least it looked like it gave Captain Lance a little something to think about in regards to his relationship with Laurel. Thank goodness. I'm so sick of Captain Lance in Arrow being so pissed off all the time and having such a grudge against everybody. I'm ready for he and Laurel to sort of bury the hatchet and make up and be father-daughter again. I'm ready for him to be the character that I enjoyed in season 2 of Arrow. So hopefully good old Joe from Central City will help push that along. Something else, so while they were there, they actually found the body of the original Harrison Wells. Captain Lance wanted to call it in. Joe said no. He said, please, this is anybody who knows about this is in danger. Of course, Captain Lance doesn't know that it has anything to do with the Reverse Flash, but Joe knows that anybody who gets involved could be killed basically by the Reverse Flash. So at the end of the episode, it's revealed that Cisco did some DNA testing, and they finally confirm that Harrison Wells that we've seen roll around in the wheelchair for the last year is not actually the real Harrison Wells. I'm really glad that they were able to confirm their suspicions. Caitlin was having some trouble with it, and I was really afraid they were going to drag this out for several episodes, although there's only a couple left. But I was afraid they were going to drag it out with Barry and Cisco and everyone else saying, he's a bad guy, and Caitlin saying, no, he's not, he helped me through a tough time. No, he's really a bad guy. Yeah, but he helped me out. So I'm glad that only lasted for one episode. Now they all know that Harrison Wells or whoever, I mean, we know it's Eobard Thawne, but they don't know who it is now. So the person they've been working with for the last year, they finally know that there's something definitely up with him. He's not necessarily a nice guy. So that's going to bring some really cool things for the rest of the season. As we saw in the trailer for next week's episode, things really come to a head. I think, or at least it looks like, that they finally confront him, which is going to lead into the big team up episode that we've seen clips for. So that's going to be completely awesome. So the big thing that happened at the very end of the episode was Barry and Cisco and Caitlin actually finding Harrison Wells' secret room. Cisco is looking at the blueprints for Star Labs. They find where it's located. Barry's able to open the door, I guess because he has some of the tachyon particles. I'm not real sure, but he's able to open the door because he's a speedster as well. At least that's how I interpreted it. and they see the yellow suit in there. So that's double confirmation about what's going on. And then at the very end, Barry sees the future newspaper from 2024, and so that way they know that there's definitely some time travel going on. Harrison is definitely the Reverse Flash, so that is going to open all kinds of cool doors for the remaining 3 or 4 episodes. So that's all I really have to say about this episode. It was just a quick rundown, just a few thoughts, but again, it was another sort of one-note villain, which wasn't too exciting, but everything else around that, all the other subplots and all the other seed laying, if you will, for things to come, that was the exciting part, and that's the way it's been with Flash for a little while. But and then that sounds kind of bad, but the seeds that they're laying in these subplots and that they've been doing for a while, they're so good that the main plots with these two-dimensional villains that we don't really care about, that's been bearable. That's been an easy pill to swallow because we know that there's bigger things coming. And next week looks like it's going to kick off the thing that we've been wanting to see for the entire season. Flash versus Reverse Flash. Maybe not exactly the next episode, but like I said, things are coming to a head. Things are being revealed. People are being confronted. Things are happening, so that's going to be great. So I can't wait. It's going to be awesome, and I will be right here to talk about each and every single episode as they come out. So if you have any thoughts or comments about anything, or if there was anything that I left out, please let me know in the comments below. And if you want to keep up with all the rest of the cool stuff that the Nerd Punch crew is doing, just be sure to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all of those /Nerd Punch. You can also go to nerdpunch.com, which is the main website. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.